Hi folks, this is Guy. Today we're going to be talking about fire ants. Now if you live up in the north where it's kind of cold in the winter, fire ants are not going to be a problem for you. In fact, some folks in the north probably never even heard of fire ants. But if you live down south like me, I live in Florida, fire ants can be a real problem because they have a really nasty sting and they breed by the thousands and can be a real pest in your yard. Your dogs can get stung, your kids. I even saw a case in Georgia one time where a puppy actually got killed by them. So they can be kind of a nasty problem. But the good news is they are very, very easy to kill and it's very inexpensive to do it. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute. First, I want you to know my credentials. I have been doing this for many, many years, and I am licensed in several states, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Now, I want to point out, though, that in one of my other videos, I noticed that I had a couple of dislikes, and I suspect those things came from professional pest controllers who saw my videos maybe as taking business away from them or something like that. And I want them to know that that is not the case. I do not do this to take business away from professionals. If you can afford to hire a professional pest controller, great, then that's a great thing to do. Why go out there and do it yourself if you can hire somebody? But it's kind of like cleaning your house. Most people do not hire a cleaning company to clean their house because it's something they can do themselves, and they can't really afford to hire a professional to do it. And it's the same with this. I think if you can hire a professional, great. If you can afford it, that's wonderful. But if you can't, you really don't want to be living with the bugs, particularly fire ants. So if you're a professional pest controller, please don't get mad at me because I'm not taking business away from you. I'm just helping other people who cannot afford to hire you. And I think today with being in the pandemic with the COVID-19 and everything and people getting laid off their jobs and so forth, I think it's more important than ever. If you have information you can share with people, you really should do it and pay it forward. And I also want you to know that I do not make any money or get any compensation in any form from the companies that make the products that I recommend or from these videos. I get no compensation whatsoever for this. I simply do it to help others. That's it. Okay, that being said, let me talk to you about how to get rid of your fire ants. The product that I recommend is the, excuse me, the orthorhynine fire ant killer. And I'll show you a close-up of this so you can see it. What I like about this product is, number one, it's inexpensive. You can get it just about anywhere, Lowe's, Home Depot, even Walmart, I've seen it sometimes. And the price varies from around $9 to $11 for a container like this. So it's very inexpensive. And this, by the way, will treat, they tell you this treats 162 mounds, but they would have to be really, really small mounds for this to treat 162. So I'm thinking this really realistically treats more like 24 to 30 mounds if you do it the way I'm suggesting. But that's still pretty cheap because chances are you don't have 30 mounds of fire ants in your yard unless you have an acreage. Also, what I like about it is it works quickly. If you put this stuff down this morning, then tomorrow morning your fire ants are probably going to be dead. It usually works within 24 hours. So it's really fast. And the best part is you don't have to water it in. You just sprinkle this over the top of the mound and you're done. Now, excuse me, I got just getting over a cold. Now, if you read the directions to this product, they are going to tell you that you should wear protective equipment like chemical-resistant gloves, long, pants, shoes, socks, long-sleeve shirt, and so on. And that's because what they're telling you to do is they want you to you'll see here there is a seal on this. And what they want you to do is take this seal off and measure the product out, and how much you use is going to depend on the size of the mound. And what I'm suggesting to you is don't do it that way. What I'm suggesting is that you cut a little V in the top, and I took a video earlier that I'll put that up for you. And you just cut this V out of the top, and then all you do is you just shake the container onto the, and the product will come out onto the fire ant mound. And all you have to do is cover the mound with the product, make it white, and that's it. Again, no watering, and do not water this product in. Just sprinkle this over the mound, and you're done. Now, they tell you not to disturb the mound. And the reason they tell you not to disturb the mound is twofold. Number one, if you disturb the mound, then the fire ants, the attack ants, the soldier ants, the ones that are coming out to bite you, to sting you, they're going to come up to the surface real fast to defend the colony. And the queen is going to head deeper into the ground, down into the colony, to escape whatever the danger is that disturbed their mound. So they don't want the queen going deeper, and they don't want you to get stung, so they advise you not to disturb the mound. I don't do it that way, because I've run into mounds that were either dead, and I'm putting product down for no reason at all, or I see a mound that looks like a fire ant mound, and it really isn't. It was caused by some other reason, like, a mole or something pushed some sand up or something, kind of looked like a fire ant hill, and it actually wasn't. So what I do is I take a stick and I disturb the mound. I uncover the top of the mound, and then when I see the ants come up to the top and swarm, then I stay fairly safe distance away, at least like 18 inches away from it. They're not going to find you that quick in that distance. And then I just take the container, because I've cut my V out of the top, and I just sprinkle it across the entire mound and move on. It literally takes seconds to treat the mound, so I've never gotten stung doing that. However, since the label tells you to wear the protective equipment, you ought to do it. But doing it my way, so long as you have your back to the wind, because you don't want this stuff blowing at you. If you have your back, if the wind is at your back, and you apply this really close to the mound, you want to get it, you don't want the container really high, so you want it right down where the fire ants are, and you just cover the mound with it. I don't wear any protective equipment because I do it that way, but if you're going to reach your hand into the container and start measuring it out, you better be wearing protective equipment, because you're going to smell this stuff. Even if you're away from the wind from it, as soon as you open this container, you're going to start to smell it. It is not something that you want to get into your eyes or on your hands or your clothes or anything like that. So I have to tell you, by law, you should wear the protective equipment, but at the same time, I don't, because I do it differently. Okay? Now let's talk a little bit about reinfestation. How do you get these fire ants in the first place? They don't just miraculously appear in your yard. They're coming from someplace else, typically your neighbor's yard. What happens is, when there's a queen born in another colony, what she does is she goes to the surface and she flies away to form a new colony. And unfortunately, that colony is going to be in your yard. And so she's going to land, her wings will drop off, and she'll burrow down into the ground, start laying eggs, and these eggs will hatch, and the workers are going to start taking care of the queen. And as she lays more and more eggs, you're going to end up with a fire ant mound. And so there's really not much you can do to stop from getting more fire ants. So it's one of those things that you're probably going to have to treat from time to time. So every once in a while, just once a week or so, just take a walk around the property, and if you have any fire ants, take this thing with you. So if you see a little fire ant mound start to pop up, just treat it, and you'll never have to worry about the fire ants. Now, all of that being said, there are situations that are a little different, where you actually can't see the mound. And this can happen in a situation where the fire ants might be under a trash can. They could be under a flower pot, anything like that. They can be under, those concrete pads where your air conditioning unit sits on. They can be under those, and you really can't see them, but they're in the yard, and your dog is getting bit, or you're getting bit, so you know you have fire ants, but you don't know where it is. So if you can find them, there's definitely a colony. You can treat them with this. Now, sometimes the fire ants will be living even in your lawn, and for some reason there's no mound. But again, there is a colony. So if you can find that colony, you can sprinkle this over the area and treat it. Now, let's say you cannot find the colony and you still have fire ants. I'm going to tell you how you treat that. The product that you're going to want to use is called Talstar Extra, and I'm going to put a picture of it up for you to see. Talstar Extra is a bit more expensive than what I'm suggesting here, so that's why it's kind of a last resort for me. What you do with that is you put it in a broadcast spreader and you just cover your entire lawn with it. And that should get the job done. That should kill all your fire ants. The only thing is it's a bit more expensive. I think it runs around $40, $42 or something like that for a bag of it. So, and I seldom use that sort of thing, and so I don't know how far a bag goes, to be honest with you. But if you get that and just follow the label directions, that will do the job for you. And I would still get this product anyway, so that if you see the mounds come up at a later date, because that Talstar Extra isn't going to last forever, you can treat them as the mounds pop up. So between those two products, you should be able to get it done. But if you have mounds, then this is the way to go. But I have heard and seen situations where there's fire ants and no mounds. In that case, use the Talstar. Okay, I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please give me a like. And if you want to see more of my videos, please hit subscribe. I don't do them very often. I mean, again, there's people that do this, do videos for a living, and they make lots of money on these YouTube videos. I don't make any money off of them. And so I do them when I get a chance, because I have other things that I have to do. And I am planning one on carpenter ants as well. But if you have carpenter ants, go watch my general exterior pest control video and just use the Taurus SC, and that'll get rid of your carpenter ants for now. But I will do a separate one, because I get that question all the time. How do I get rid of carpenter ants? And they didn't see a video right on that, so I will do one, I promise. Not too long in the future. So please give me a like, and if you want, subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll see my future videos as well. And be sure to check out my one on termites, because I can treat your termites for under 50 bucks. And if you do the treatment, even if you don't have termites, you'll never have them. So it's a great investment. $50 a year, you'll never have termites. So thank you again for watching, and take care. Be safe, folks. Be safe with this COVID-19, okay? Thank you very much.